Of U.S. President Joe Biden's fist bump with Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, whom U.S. Intelligence says was behind the 2018 killing of journalist Jamal Khashoggi, generated a storm of criticism for Biden and his foreign policy.
As VOA senior diplomatic correspondent Cindy Sain reports.
Observers were closely watching President Joe Biden's first visit to the Middle East to see how he dealt with the killings of two prominent journalists. Palestinian-American journalist Shireen Abu Akleh was killed during an Israeli raid in the West Bank on May 11th. Her family had asked to meet with Biden in Jerusalem, but has been invited to meet with top U.S. officials in Washington instead. The State Department said Israeli gunfire is likely responsible for her death, but could not say if the shooting was intentional. Some human rights experts say the U.S. needs to do more.
Yes, the Israelis have done their investigation. Yes, the Palestinians have done their investigation. Shireen was a U.S. citizen. The FBI should be doing its own investigation. Leave politics at the door. This is an American citizen, and she deserves to have an investigation done that is independent.
But most of the criticism of the president's trip has focused on a fist bump seen around the world, quickly shared by the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia on social media, as Biden greeted Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman in Jeddah on July 15th.
Just the image after the murder of Jamal Khashoggi and the Saudi journalist that the CIA says that MBS had sanctioned the murder. There's just a lot of understandable hurt feelings and an outcry there.
Bin Salman denies he is responsible for the 2018 murder of Jamal Khashoggi. Katulis said that he feels it would be better for U.S. presidents to engage directly with countries that don't have perfect human rights records and bring up points of concern face to face.
I sort of don't understand the alternative argument, which is you cut ties, you isolate, you disengage, and then somehow magically that's going to read them the riot act and their human rights records will magically improve.
But Sarah Yeager of Human Rights Watch says she believes presidential visits with dictators can do real harm.
President Biden's trip to the Middle East is going to empower authoritarians, and not just in the Middle East. I'm talking about Uganda, Philippines, President Modi in India, leaders who are on the verge of authoritarianism, who are using repressive tactics, who are closing civil society, who are targeting journalists and imprisoning their political opponents.
Yeager told VOA she thinks that after the visit from Biden, the Saudi Crown Prince will likely drop all pretext of reform and crack down even more on women's rights and political dissent in the kingdom.